Down the other end with Irene van Dijk. Andrea Gilmore obviously back on the court. We heard Jane Searle talk about Gilly. I assume that's Gilmore, and going back to her on the line, so they want to look after their position as well.
And it's Bolton to get us back underway in this final 15 minutes, and there is the change we mentioned. Gilmore back on for Beckett, and it was a big difference midway through that third quarter. Frances Solier for their Magic had much more room to move to create that feed for his shooters. So we'll see what Gilmore can do on her in this quarter as Jodie Todd goes down early, and a little bit ginger as well. She's had some ankle problems in the past. Here is Solier.
Lovely ball there from Jodie Brown to find Frances Solier in the pocket. Oh, and Irene van Dijk, lovely dodge behind Furman. Not sure why she doesn't do that all day. Works so well.
Well, she seems to be confusing Furman with it on a couple of occasions, so might see a little bit more of it on this occasion. Short swings it over. Good work from Bassett, but she was off balance and misses with the shot. And the ball goes out of court, and it's with Casey Williams.
Casey Williams driving that ball through the court.
Scholes, that familiar Australian slinging pass.
Magic having to go back before they get the ball down to their big target shooter.
Well, we saw Langman having to work hard to get away from young Shea Bolton there. Bolton's gone well against the Magic captain, international. There's the two of them again, and this occasion Langman finds Van Dijk, and Van Dijk makes no mistake. Looks relatively
relaxed, Nolene told her. Now with her team with a 7-goal buffer, she may be feeling a little bit better about the way this game's going.
Well, Van Dijk and Brown have swapped places. Van Dijk's the one who's come out of the circle to do some work. And, well, Furman's called for the contact, and she's frustrated again.
Well, prior to the third quarter whistle, Furman had racked up 16 penalties, which for any player is a huge number of contacts and obstructions.
Well, she's such a busy defender as well. Maybe sometimes makes it look like she's doing more than she actually is. But it's back at the Fever shooting in, and young Shord, who's been good for them this afternoon. And she's good for them again there, as they attempt to close this gap that's stretched out to 7. Solier rolls it into Brown, and Brown goes quickly to Van Dijk.
Oh, lucky to not get called for the replay ball there. Irene van Dijk, she just dropped that ball and picked it up again. Casey Williams over the shot, covering the pass. Couldn't quite get up there for the rebound as well, though. Probably needed some more support from her goal defence, Jodie Todd.
Here is Jodie Todd. Took a tumble earlier and a little bit ginger on that ankle, but looks to be okay now. Oh, quick ball from Langman, and she had Furman with her back to the ball again, and Furman had no answer. Irene likes it from Langman. Langman and Maddie Brown just fighting for a bit of position there.
Yes, Peter Scholes and Laura Langman doing a great job of holding up the mid-court from the Fever. But the Fever equal to it with a great deal of patience, getting that ball into Leah Shord.
And Leah Shord looks positively tiny in that goal circle, and the long arms of Williams got over a shot and disrupted it.
Well, unlucky there, Madison Brown. The ball being passed between two Fever players to try to get to the Magic, but Magic come up with it.
And they're away quickly. Van Dijk off to Solier. And there is Van Dijk, but this time Curran it is with the intercept.
Yes, Frances Solier just pushing that pass a little bit too flat over Joanna Curran's head.
Bassett under the post, but the margin is still 7. They've got a lot of work to do, the Fever, to get back into this one. and get Australia off to a good start in the rivalry round, of course.
Good work there from Laura Langman.
She's been solid this afternoon, Langman.
She's a tireless worker, isn't she, both on attack and defence. And as we see Andrea Gilmore tie up Frances Solier again in this quarter, Laura Langman has to pick up her work rate, and she has. Here we see, I wonder if Nolene Taudu is happy with this smothering defence from the Magic. She's called for it a number of times in this game. Great front hold from Caitlin Bassett.
Oh, Williams got the tip away, but her distance wasn't quite right. See that penalty count heavily against the Fever, 64-40, and a lot of that came down the other end against Susan Furman, didn't it? Well, they've got the break, and they've got another chance here, the Fever. Brown, there she is, the workhorse in mid-court for the West Coast. Yeah, good shot from Leah Short. You heard it from her fellow shooter Bassett, and they scored the last three. A little turnover here would make things very interesting.
So that's all they need. They only need 2 breaks, and they are back on top of this game. And they are working for it. Look how hard they are making the Magic work to get this ball into their goal circle.
See that close body work between Curran and Brown, and this time Brown makes no mistake. All even in this final quarter, but it's the third one that was costly for the Fever. Can they peg it back? Can they pull it back?
Fantastic work there from Casey Williams. She came around, denied the pass, went up for a 3-foot guard, and then went back to get the ball. Here she goes, up in the air. How athletic is she? Well,
that is the magic of Casey Williams. That's what's made her one of the best in the world over the past few years. She really kept her team in this early in the first half, and now reaping some benefits, the Magic.
Both defenders dropping off onto Irene van Dijk. They know that Jodie Brown's not going to shoot from there. Magic quite happy to let that ball roll around. They don't mind the time ticking down. They're ahead.
Yes, it's the Fever that needs to act with urgency, but once again we've been slowed up. And both defenders now having to stand down, and it's called back again. So Jodie Brown will just hand it off to Van Dijk, and away we go. Back out to 7. Oh, yes, quick hands from Scholes. Brown put Irene van Dijk under pressure, but Van Dijk was up to it, and that's some good work from the Magic.
Yes, interesting to see Susan Furman so far from home, but she's obviously decided that being one-on-one with Irene van Dijk's not working for her. And Leah Short, unfortunately, just out of court before she picked that ball up.
Well, the turnovers are starting to mount a little bit against the Fever, and the Magic have made them pay, and there it is again, a bit of flair. This was the sort of stuff we saw from the Magic at times last week against the Fever. We haven't seen